And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day here of the World Team League 2023 Winter Code S Round 4, day number 3. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, after a long hiatus, I'm here with the one, the only, the AsherBro.
There's two of you. Hang on, I need to fix this. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Oh?
There's only one of you.
What?
I'm gonna be honest. I can only handle one of you right now.
Oh no, it's okay. We can build up to you being handling two of me. It's okay.
Okay,
We'll work
okay.
Yeah.
Ease our way in. I like it.
Oh god. But it's been a while, Bobby. It's been a while, and we've had a lot of StarCraft in between our sessions together. And how you been, Bobby? How you been?
Yeah, pretty good. I ate some ramen at some point. Pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you eat today?
A lot of bread. I've got a loaf of bread that goes bad tomorrow, so I've just been eating as much bread as possible.
Like I had toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, okay.
Just all the bread, yeah. Exactly.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see who can make or who can get that bread here tonight, because we have a banger of a matchup. We have Dragon KaiZi Gaming versus Team BASILISK.
Yeah, there we go. So we have, I believe... Wait, this is the rematch of the grand final, right?
Rematch of third. I think it was the third place match. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, who was in the final?
Onside.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I just kind of assumed that DKZ were in the finals because they've been in the finals every other time. So maybe this is kind of their chance to, get themselves back up there at the top.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've been on their back for a while, and it's one of those things where they want to get on top. So we are, Dragon KaiZi Gaming, they've been struggling a little bit. I say that. I mean, they weren't the champions, and that's just something that we're not used to seeing here. So hopefully they're able to prove themselves here, but it's not going to be easy because Team BASILISK, of course, mate, they're a terrifying team. And here we go in the bottom right hand corner for DKZ. We have Oliveira.
And in the top left hand corner of the map, this is Trigger. What's up? What's up?
It's just,
what are you gonna say?
Don't worry.
Are you still thinking about the on top thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
It's on my mind.
Yeah, it's okay. Wait till after the cast.
Okay.
You think about it all you like.
Then we can get in position, Papi. It'll be
For
fine.
Sure.
Oh my god, but something that has been really exciting over the past couple of days here, and I don't know if you've been able to take note of it, but Oliveira actually has been doing insanely well. I think it was yesterday in the KSL, if I'm not mistaken. Oliveira, he actually took down both Dark and Solar in yesterday's tournament. And it feels like it felt almost like the Oliveira of old, a more dominant form here that we haven't really seen in a while, ever since Katowice almost.
Yeah, I mean, if we could get this mythical champion of the Katowice Oliveira back in action, that would be extremely exciting.
Definitely. Especially with ESL Masters Winter right around the corner next week, and it would be great to see Oliveira back in action. We'll see if he can do so here tonight, because he does seem to be in form, at least when it comes to TVZ. Again, he was looking damn good against all the Korean Zerg players the other day. But at the same time, he's up against Trigger. And even though Trigger is one of the more lesser-known players on Team BASILISK, he's still good at what he does. And obviously, he's still been on the rise in the NAC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Trigger's one of the... probably one of the only players, actually, that I can really point to that I would say is breaking into that top of the top echelon, which, we just don't really see that much. And he is kind of at the sort of place where he is going from... someone who's, rising through those middle ranks of NA to actually getting to the kind of player that can start to take games off the top Koreans, top European players. He's been really impressive, and especially in World Team League. I remember him playing against Mario and making a really good account for himself.
Exactly. But Trigger versus Mario and Gresvan is one of those matches that I'm not one to forget anytime soon. You know, it's for whatever reason, it's just etched into my mind, and I think very highly of Trigger as a result in TVP. I think this may be his best matchup. I think I would go that far that this is probably like the matchup where he can shine the most, and we'll see if he can shine against Oliveira.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, already we're starting things out. He's going for just a Twilight Council first. That is usually his go-to, but obviously with the new Cyclones, that's going to be even more common. Oliveira's going for a double gas build, which is kind of interesting. I think might be because of the shortness of the map that he wants to go for something a bit more aggressive, but I haven't been seeing double gas builds quite as much lately.
Yeah, a lot of the Koreans have abandoned it, right? Like when we think of Cure, Maru, Beyond, they're all opening up Rax Expand. So really interesting to see Oliveira kind of go something a little bit more old school and potentially a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, this kind of feels like a skill check if I'm being honest, but we'll have to see what goes on because Trigger does tend to be a little bit on the safer side. Quite often he'll skip his upgrades to go for a stronger Colossus timing, things like that. And I think if Oliveira's underestimating him, he could be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, exactly. I mentioned before the Trigger, his PVT is on point and is something to be respected. But here we go. We do have a Mind Drop going to be moving out across the map. Behind this, a Liberator on the way as well, as Oliveira is building up quite a tank count already. But we do have the Stalkers in position, and Trigger will not allow this drop into the main.
Yeah, Drop's not going to be going in. It looks like he has dropped the mines off somewhere. Okay, yeah, maybe he was suspecting a Phoenix build or something like that. A little bit weird, but basically what he's got going on here, it looks a little bit like he's going to be going for 4 SCV pool and setting up a push on the third while this mine drop is dragging these Stalkers out of position.
Yeah, exactly. But the Medevac already taking a lot of hits here, a couple of shots away from going down. So a little bit adventurous Oliveira has gone, and that will mean that he's going to have less of a distraction in the main base when he does eventually go for his push.
Yeah, probably doesn't have to leave as many Stalkers there now. Oliveira behind this, not going for a 3cc, which is what we used to see a lot off this build, but instead going into 3 racks. So he is playing this in, I don't know, not trying to cut any corners or get any edges. It kind of seems like he is just expecting to be able to outplay Trigger later on here.
Yeah, some people, they just don't like edging. You know, I don't get it, but you know, it's you do you. As we do have the army moving out across the map already, but Trigger, he's here to meet it already. Gonna be able to chip away at these Marines. Again, there is no stim. They are vanilla. At the same time, the drop tries to go in, but Trigger was waiting in position, his main.
Yeah, Trigger's doing a great job here. He has pretty much everything covered except for this Liberator. It's going to be coming in here, getting quite a few probe kills, denying a lot of mining as well. And with all these Stalkers getting distracted, maybe the mine drop can come in as well.
Ooh, and here we go. The mine drop does come in. The Medevac is going to be going down, but the blinks are not quite enough to avoid the second shot. The Stalker will go down, but we should be able to clean this up at the same time. Oliveira's main push doesn't quite commit here. Looks like he was slowed down a little bit too much, and Trigger, he's going to be able to hold.
Yeah, good choice by Oliveira to back off here, though. He has already gotten a decent amount of damage, a lot of lost mining time. He just needs to be careful with these units because Stim's still quite a long ways off, so he doesn't want to overcommit or get caught out in the middle of the map here.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a very mature choice here for Oliveira to just back off, unsiege, waddle back home. Unfortunately, this does mean, you know, his delayed 3rd TC is going to be a little bit later here. He didn't really accomplish too much with it, and Trigger feels like he's in a pretty good position. He's up in workers, he's got his 3rd base fully operational, and he hasn't really been too disturbed. At least Oliveira does hold on to his tank count and his marine count, I guess.
Yeah, Trigger not too badly disturbed, managed to probe up quite a bit. He did have to delay some of his tech, so the upgrades and the Colossus are pretty decently delayed, but I'm feeling like he's in a pretty good spot here overall.
Yeah, definitely. He's even picking up a couple more Marines here on the front lines. He has an observer that spots everything, so he knows when the army is unsieged. And as you were mentioning, some of the tech may be delayed, but now we have +1, Extend Thermal Lance, Colossus, Charge, all on the way, all on the horizon. And it all should finish up in time for the eventual push of Oliveira.
Yeah, this observer's been crazy annoying. Trigger's been doing a really good job of just moving it around constantly, and yeah, there you go. Looks like Oliveira has pieced it together and worked it out, but that's been doing really well for Trigger so far on a map where you can be pretty impressive as well. I mean, just having a look at this, I guess I haven't played these maps at all really, but these watchtowers are very impressive here. As long as you got the center of the map covered and you have those watchtowers, you pretty much cover everything.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing can really get past you. As we saw, right, Oliveira, he was trying to sneak out, but alas, he couldn't. We do have a double drop on the right-hand side. The main army pushing out towards the left, though, so now the pressure is on. Can Trigger keep up with not just one of these pushes, but both?
Yeah, I really like this. I mean, Trigger's power spike is starting to kick in now. but he doesn't quite have enough units to deal with both prongs at the same time. I really like the way that Oliveira is setting this up, and he should be able to abuse this low ground here as well.
Yeah, and here we go. He does pick up. He goes straight for the main base tanks on the low ground, as you did mention. At the same time, the job coming in from the right-hand side. And as you mentioned, Trigger, he doesn't quite have enough to defend both locations at once.
Yeah, the third's taking some pretty serious damage here. Oliveira, does need to be careful that he doesn't throw away too many units all at once. And yeah, it looks like he is playing things very safe. I really like how he's doing this.
Oh yeah, but oh my god, Trigger is so quick to pull away his workers. He only loses 2 probes. He didn't have enough to defend his third base, but he was able to react in time, was able to save his workers, and he barely takes any damage.
Yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, he's still being kept off a 4th here just for the moment, but Trigger's starting to build up a pretty scary army. Oliveira's going to have to make sure that he has everything carefully set up back at home, because this is what I was talking about. Trigger does like to delay sometimes his upgrades, delay his 4th a little bit just to get the massive units, and now he's got a really strong push.
He really does, and this entire game so far for the past 9 minutes, Trigger has been on the defensive, outside of map control, of course, but now he should be able to move out with his main army. Thankfully, Oliveira does have control of the Zelnaga, so he will spot the army moving out. He is aware, but that is not stopping himself from going for his own push here on the left-hand side, going for a drop even.
Yeah, really nice map control here by Oliveira. He's doing such a good job keeping control of this game. And I think this kind of map vision battle is going to be so important when Trigger has all of these Colossus out on the map, because I'm not really sure if Oliveira is ready for this if it rocks up right now. He probably has a couple Vikings, but I don't know what he has apart from that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important that he does force Trigger to turn around, but alas, he doesn't. The mind job comes in, but here we go. Trigger collapses on this army. He takes down the first tank. He's going to take down the second. A really ambitious blink, though.
Yeah, big blink does come on in, but we've got an extra warp in of Zealots. The army of Oliveira, it is barely hanging on, but it's just not enough. Trigger taking game 1 here.
GG, well played. Trigger able to keep up with everything that Oliveira had to throw at him. And as you said, building up towards this one big push. I was concerned when the drop was hitting at the same time for both players. Actually, I was like, oh, does Trigger have enough to defend? Is he going to be able to commit in time? And he barely did. I thought he threw away his stalkers, but it was just enough to break through the tanks.
Yeah, just enough there. Oliveira wasn't able to delay him and keep him out on the map for long enough. And honestly, I think the build choice for Oliveira here was a bit of a problem. Going for the double gas there, I really do think he underestimated Trigger, and I can see in his face that he's probably not going to be doing that again.
Yeah, we mentioned it, right? Like when you're on Team Basilisk, it's hard to shine, right? It's hard to be, you're like overshadowed by Serral, by Reynor, and Oliveira. He's like, man, this is Trigger. I'll be fine. I'll just play double gas. Sure, I'm gonna set myself behind a little bit economically, but I'll just pull him apart. But we saw that again, leading up towards that 9-minute mark. Trigger, he was able to keep up with everything that Oliveira had. It was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Trigger's been playing on the NA ladder. I'm sure he's getting double gas Terrans all day, every day. He was very ready for this, but here we go. Oliveira's going to be able to pick the second map. He picks out Oceanborn, and what can you tell me about this map? I cannot remember it.
We're under the sea, Pappy. Where?
Well, that's all I need to know. Yeah.
If you remember, this is the map where it has a massive shadow of a big giant octopus that does float over the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's romanticide with giant octopus.
Exactly. We do have a really secure 3-base setup. There's a lot of high ground, a lot of elevation on your respective sides of the map, so really easy 3 bases. When it comes to the 4th base, that is a little bit more exposed, especially the 4th base towards the center, towards your opponent, is very difficult to hold on to. We've seen a lot of players struggle to defend either 4th base location if we do head in that direction, but it also has a really short rush distance by ground. Short by.
Yeah, okay, so maybe Oliveira's got a bit of a different push plan for here. Or I think if he does piece together the way that Trigger plays, he might want to go for a bit of a longer game and a bit more of a safe game, play more of an economic style. Trigger really does play around this massive 8 or 9 minute timing. And I think if you know that that's how he likes to play, you might be better off, trying to just weather that storm and then get ahead later on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I do agree that Trigger, he's a very stylistic player. Like, we don't really get to see too often, like, I don't know, like a Stargate Phoenix opener or a 4-gate blink from Trigger. It's not really his forte. Not saying that he can't do it, but it's something that he typically doesn't. And in preparation for him, like, you can try to study him, you can try to read him and take advantage of his play style. But based off of game one, I don't know. I don't know if Oliveira's been doing his homework. I don't know if he's really ready for Trigger, Papi, even on his map of choice.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. it's gonna be tough. I mean, Trigger's PvT is just kind of insane, really.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much, and it's something that he really does shine in. And again, like I think everyone can really respect his PvT, or at least I would hope so. And yeah, Ocean Border is going to be an interesting one. I'm really curious to see how aggressive or standard Oliveira is going to be playing here. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner for DKZ, it is Oliveira.
Nicely done. And in the top left hand corner for Basilisk, this is a Trigger.
I don't give you a lot of time, Papi.
No, it's all right. We're prepared.
Yeah,
we've had to deal with this before, and you know what? Nothing to be ashamed of.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We may be used to like taking our time and really just like fluffing the openers as much as we can. Just for everyone's entertainment, for everyone's satisfaction. But yeah, if we really need to, we can be quick, Papi. It's fine.
It's flattering, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oliveira's going for gas first, so a double gas first. He's doubling down. So the problem was not, that he was being aggressive and then he needs to chill out a bit more. He wasn't being aggressive enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever this is, it's going to be nasty. This could be some kind of Cyclone build, actually, I reckon.
Yeah, we have seen, even earlier today, actually, I casted a couple of different one-base Cyclone all-ins. But to be fair, I was casting Dolan, to be fair.
Okay. Yeah.
It was great.
I do remember him saying, like, when this patch was starting to come out, that he was in the kitchen cooking up some Cyclone one-base builds.
It was spicy, Bob. It was spicy. He went for a proxy factory and one factory back at home, actually. So double factory, double reactors, four Cyclone at a time all in. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more of that, because I feel like that's what people used to do, and I think this is actually what Oliveira is doing.
Oh, it definitely could be. I mean, he's got his factory back at home. We have an SCV just out on the map here, looking for a nice place to plop down, whether it's another... There it is! He's going for... Oh, let's go!
Yeah, there you go. Perfect timing.
Dolan prepared me for this, Papi. He prepared me.
He prepared Oliveira as well.
It's true. And to be fair, it's not just Dolan. I've seen Clem do variations of this as well. Clem, he likes spicing things up. And of course, he was in the pre-patch tournament, the Wardy tournament as well. Yeah, Mass Cyclone early on, it can do well against Protoss.
Very cool. And also, this main is really undefended here, so that is just going to make things even more difficult for Trigger. Just that little bit of distraction that's going on. Every little thing like that can really add up with a build like this.
Yeah, it really can. Trigger is going to be scouting across now. He does confirm the factory, the reactor on said factory as well, so he can start piecing this together, but alas, he hasn't found that proxy factory, and there is a reactor on the way on that proxy factory as well, so we are going for 4 Cyclones at a time. We're sending it, Papi.
Yeah, there we go. So it is the one base double reactor, exactly how you were saying. This is the spirit of Dolan taking over Oliveira.
Let's go. I knew he was a duck at heart. I knew it. But yeah, for the time being, Trigger, he's not fully aware of what's going on. He's going for a Twilight Council opener into Blink. The reactor. The Reaper is in the main base, just going to be harassing and forcing some inefficient mining here, just keeping the attention of Trigger back at home. And again, he's not quite prepared for what is going to be coming his way. He does at least have some safety shield batteries.
Yeah, his little moves like these can be so distracting, but it looks like, Trigger is definitely piecing together that at the very least it seems to be a one-base build. He's got those extra batteries coming down, throwing down the Robo and Blink. So he is also full walling, which leads me to think that he might think this is some kind of Hellion drop.
Yeah, exactly, right? He's walling off so the Hellions don't get into the natural, and then he can have his Stalkers in the main base just in case there was a drop on the way. Misreading the situation a little bit. Again, this patch is still relatively new, and I don't know how often Trigger has played against this kind of one-base all-in, but here we go. The boys are being pulled. They're here to buffer. They're here to repair these Cyclones as well.
All right, this is all new to me, so I'm this is going to be very interesting. I feel like this full wall should actually help out Trigger quite a lot, but there we go. We have all the lock-ons coming out on this gateway. The batteries are not in range, so it is going to be going down, and now Trigger is in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he is. We do have the overcharge popping off. They're going to be keeping these Stalkers alive. The wall is exposed. We have an Immortal on the way. Can Trigger survive long enough to get that Immortal as the overcharge is about to run out? And so far, the Cyclones they're taking a lot of hits.
They are taking a lot of hits. They are menacingly tickling these Stalkers. And that Immortal, if that does get out, that is going to be big trouble. I mean, Oliveira, he can see that it's being chrono boosted, so he should know what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. And he has a choice to make. Does he go for the Robot? Does he go for the Stalkers? He's going to be trading with the Stalkers. He's down to only 4 Cyclones. The Immortal comes out.
Yeah, Immortal comes out. Great Blink Micro from Trigger. This is not working out for Oliveira at all. This has been shut down. GG is called, and it's going to be a 2-0 win for Trigger against the world champion.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. GG, well played. Trigger will take the series 2-0. Having a strong start here for Basilisk and shutting down that one base all-in.
Yeah, there we go. Reddit was wrong. Pretty crazy stuff, but turns out Reddit was wrong.
True, let's go, Bobby. I mean, honestly, I think that wall did so much, right? It's like Oliveira, he had to work through. He ended up killing 2 entire gateways trying to break through into that natural base. The gateways, they weren't just protecting the army, but they were protecting the pylon as well that was keeping that robo powered. You could definitely make an argument there, especially as we figure this build out a little bit more, that, hey, if you had the time to kill 2 gateways, maybe focus on the robot, maybe that would have been the way to go. But even then, the Stalkers, even without the Immortals, they were holding their own there against the Cyclones.
Yeah, just the change in the lock-on range does mean that Blink does so much more for you. And I feel like Trigger did have this very well worked out as well. I mean, to be honest, there's a good chance that Trigger's played against Dolan doing this build quite a bit.
It's very true. That is a very valid point. That, mate, you said it before, mate. Trigger, he was born and raised in the land of NA, Papi, and mate, you think this is the first time he's been one base all in? No, I'm sure that happens on a daily basis here for Trigger, and yeah, really well done, really solid performance, and a very powerful start here for Team Basilisk.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems kind of crazy to call Trigger the weak link because he's such a good player, but I mean, when you're a team with Serral and Reynor, I don't think it's too controversial to take. Basilisk are in a really good spot now, but we do have coming up now, it's going to be 2 Titans of ZVZ, and we do know that Serral, his history in ZVZ is not quite as good as his other 2 matchups.
Yeah, it's not quite as good, and oh boy, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how well our other players on DKZ can perform. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. So obviously, we have seen Solar go toe-to-toe with Serral many a time and bring him down time and time again. You know, we even had an interview recently where Solar was being praised and even praising himself for his CVZ against Serral. But is Serral really weak against Zerg, or is he weak against Solar? You know, like, can Dark, can he learn from that? Can he abuse that? Can he fight back against Serral?
I see what you're saying, but I feel like it's just, you know, the Korean thing where they're like, oh, you know, he just had a bad day. He was probably tired. I'm actually so bad at ZVZ, but I got really lucky a few games in a row, and you know, I'm just hoping that the fans enjoyed the games.
It's it's very possible, sure. When really in his brain, he's like, man, I dumpster. He's like,
this guy's trash. What's all the everyone else just sucks.
True. Oh my god. So yeah, Dark vs. Serral is going to be coming up next, and personally, I'm excited for it. I know sometimes, Asher, you lament about ZVZ, and you're like, oh, we're going to watch the Roach v. Roach, Poppy. But mate, when Dark is involved, nah, the gloves are off, Poppy. The pants are down.
I want to see Hydra vs. Hydra, just mass Hydra.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm here for.
What's wrong with you? What has this break done to you, Poppy? Aye.
Here for blood.
We'll see what we do get. What I will say though is that I have noticed, because we have had the luxury of casting Serral quite a bit ever since his foray against Solar, and Serral has been more aggressive actually in ZVZ. Like I have noticed that it looks like maybe he's had enough. You know, he's had enough. You know, just on the background, and he's now in the driver's seat. You know, he's now taking the wheel, and he is a lot more assertive, I feel, in ZVZ, and because of that, I do look forward to this. I want to see if he's the one who's able to put Dark on the back foot instead.
Yeah, I do think the thing that's been really interesting about Serral lately is we think of him as this kind of perfect reactionary defensive player, but he's started to show that not just in ZVZ where you sort of have to be a bit more aggressive and assertive, but also in the other matchups, he's very willing to do some interesting creative things. Like his kind of queen drop 2-base roach builds against Terran. He is just in general experimenting a lot more, which I think should be really good for a ZVZ.
Oh yeah, I do think so as well. It's one of those things that for a long time the European Zergs they've struggled against, right? They were like, oh my god, these animals in Korea, you know, they cut workers whenever they want. They just make roaches and they just kill you when you should be droning because that's the proper thing to do. But I think Serral now realizes that Zergs are animals and there is no proper thing to do in ZVZ. You know, it's just you just go with it.
Yeah, no, if you're in the jungle and the monkeys are throwing poo at you and you're like, this is not how you throw poo. You're not meant to throw it underhanded. That's incorrect technique. You're meant to throw it overhanded with a good elbow action as direct as possible.
Yeah.
And then they're just getting hit by poo while they're saying this.
Exactly. exactly. And you know, Serral, he's really embracing his inner nature, and at least I hope that's to be the case here in our up and coming CVZ. But it does look like we're taking a moment here to actually gather our players and set up the lobbies. I say that I think Dark was actually playing in the Wardy tournaments. There's a Wardy event going on right now, and I think Dark may be competing in that as well. So we may need a moment here. So we may be going on a short break as we get sorted. As yeah, he's in the middle of another tournament.
Okay, yeah, he's busy poop flinging somewhere else. So
possibly
we might get Hero vs Reynor. We'll have to see.
We will see. So we're going to be taking a moment here. We're going to be taking a break. When we return, we will have our next series. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Just a short break here while we were just looking for our players, but it looks like we have them ready and raring and ready to go. As we have been notified in the chat, Dark is, I believe he is in the middle of the Wardy tournament, but he has time until his next match, so no scheduling conflicts here. We should be able to get this underway without too much issue. And we have a very new side here, Serral. He's smudging a little bit. We very rarely see him with the hoodie. I dig it.
Yeah, Serral's got the hood on, so we can just go back on break. I mean, this game's over. But spawning here in the top right, his prey. It is Dark in the blue.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have for Team Basilisk, Dark Serral.
It's not a bad look, actually. I don't mind
it. It looks good. It looks very menacing. I'm scared for Dark Papi. Oh, let's go! He's going for the gold.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what's going on this map. Let me.
Okay, so half the map. Yeah, half the map is walled off like Golden Wall. It's walled off by mineral patches, so you have to mine through the minerals to get to the other half of the map. There are also rocks that you can knock down, but there only one. You only have to require one drone here to mine through, and he's going straight for that center gold base. There are 2 gold bases in the center, one on either side of the map, and Dark, he's not holding back.
Yeah, okay, that's probably really hard to scout. I do remember on other maps that we've had gold bases on, like Pride of Altaris, you end up having pretty much a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing with the gold bases and scouting the gold bases. I do remember Zerg players just absolutely hating gold base maps for this reason.
Yeah, you just unlocked a repressed memory of ZVZ on Pride of Altaris, where you would just open full first and you would just send your lings immediately to the gold base, or even send your first overlord, I think if I remember correctly, to the gold base, because you would have to, and sometimes you'd be caught out because you wouldn't be able to scout a proper hatch timing or anything as a result, and there we go, Dark is going to be medaing over. Serral, though, if we look at his overlord pathing, I believe he is looking to check that gold.
Yeah, looks like he's got it covered. I believe his second overlord heading straight for that gold base, so he'll see that it's coming up. Can you remember what kind of things do people do about this? Like, is there a set punish that you usually go for? Is this relatively safe?
So from what we have actually seen a couple of players go for this build specifically on this map. A laser comes to mind. A laser versus Silky. It was last week, and to punish this, something that we did learn is that you do have to mine the minerals on your own side of the map. Otherwise, it's very difficult to actually apply pressure with Lingbane. That's what makes it a little bit awkward. You can try and actually get into two base Roach and try to punish it that way, but it does take a long time to do. So this feels pretty safe here from Dark. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's going to be going for that Roach Warren as well, really early on, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if I missed it, but I don't think Serral's gone for Link Speed at all, has he?
No, he skipped it. He skipped Link Speed, and it does look like he's going for a two-base Roach setup here. He does obviously see the Roaches of his opponent with that Overlord, so thankfully the tech has been scouted, as Dark has no fear, and he's even disrupting his own mining to do this. That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. No, he's fixing it. He's fixing it.
Yeah, it's the side. He likes it. He likes it.
This is one of the only things I think in StarCraft where the drones really are quite dumb, but you can fix it. Serral does finally throw down that Roach Warren. It's a little bit later than the usual timing for that 2-base, but he's going for a lair as well. Okay.
Yeah, this is straight up two-base Roach out of Serral here, and we'll see if he's able to survive, because as you mentioned, because of how fast Dark is getting into this, it's an all-in. He's cutting workers really early on. He's on 24 workers. Because of the gold base, his economy is actually quite strong, and he's just sending everything across the map. Roaches and a link flood, but Dark, oh, a big supply block though. Not ideal, not when we're going all-in like this.
Yeah, definitely a pretty awkward time. I know Duck does occasionally struggle with those supply blocks in the early game, but I mean, look how well prepared Serral is. Already 2 spines going down, going for the full wall as well. That is really smart going for that, and it looks like he is definitely piecing together everything that's going on here.
And I love this from Dark. After the supply block, I don't know if it was because of that or he had the initial idea the entire time, but he's droning. He's droning behind this. He's taking a third base as is natural. He is applying pressure to this wall, and he's focusing on the Evo chamber that has an upgrade on the way, and he should be able to get this. We do have some transfuse available.
Yeah, quick cancels on those Evos. Looks like Serral is going to be filling that wall back in. Really interesting, he did cancel the second spine, so it looks like he does know that it's not fully committed.
Yeah, he is now aware that we should be droning from this point and we're getting into a longer game, but this does mean that Dark will just have the better economy, right? He has the gold base fully up and running, not really being disturbed whatsoever. And now Dark, as he backs off, he droned to 31, and now he's making nothing but lings. We have Carapace on the way, so he's going for a follow-up ling Roach push.
Yeah, really interesting. I think Carapace is still a pretty long way away. I don't think it's going to be getting too involved here, but behind this, Serral still just staying on 2 bases. He's got that Roach speed coming on in, but just going to be dealing with this with pretty much pure Roaches. So I feel like it's going to come down to positioning and to him working out exactly where the units of Dark are and what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm loving the creep highway here from a Serral as well. The Queens are well again. We're bringing the Spy Crawler as well. Let's go. It's going to take a while, but again, there will be creep available, and the Roach Driver just heading towards that goal base again. Serral looking to punish this. Could even try to snipe that Roach Warren as well, as Dark is coming in first round.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Serral has misread this. The Ling's getting right on top of these Roaches. The Bile's going down as well. Serral has been caught really off guard by the weird play of Dark.
Yeah, there it is. GG gets called. Dark. He catches Serral out on the map, and Dark will take game number 1.
GG, we were talking about it before. The Korean ZVZ. It doesn't really make much sense, but that is why it works.
Yeah, again, like it was very like there's a lot coming. It may not look like a lot, but basically, Dark, he initially pushed right, then he backed off, he droned, and then he just committed again. And I believe Serral just assumed that Dark would be taking a bit of a back seat and actually droning from that point. That's why he moved out. That's why he exposed himself. Little did he know that Dark wasn't droning, and that's Korean ZVZ. it's beautiful, man.
Love it. It's when the punch is not a punch, is a punch. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
But looks like Serral going for a bit of a smaller map for the second game. None of those gold-based shenanigans or anything like that. But kind of interesting that he does want to go for one of the smaller maps in the pool. I think this is pretty... Is this a shortest rush?
I think it's close. I think Golden Aura is shorter than Hard Lead. I actually don't know the exact numbers though, so don't quote me on that. Not... Yeah.
All right, sure. Well, let's just say it wrong. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's the shortest map in the pool.
Yeah.
Unbelievably short. So Terran favored. Maybe Serral will switch to Terran for this one.
It's true. It's true. It's actually not just the smallest map in the map pool. It's the smallest map in history of StarCraft.
Yeah.
Not just Legacy of the Void, but also Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Age of Empires.
God. That's probably true, actually. That's.
I feel like Age of Empires had these maps where you're just like right next to each other. I don't really know how it works. I haven't really played that game before. Have you?
yeah. I played Age of Empires. Oh, I played one.
Oh yeah, like in the cereal box.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Was that a thing for everyone? I got
Yes.
mine in the cereal box.
Well, no.
Okay.
I went full ghetto mode and I've got it from a cereal box, but burnt from someone else's CD from a cereal box, which my parents were like so against pirating, but I explained to them that it's free, so I'm not really pirating it.
It's you have to buy the cereal box for sure. Yeah, it's free. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I just didn't want Nutrigrain. I mean, is that a crime?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Some people. Fun fact, this is not the first time we've spoken about this on stream, but for those of you who aren't in Australia, back in the early 2000s, when you bought cereal boxes, instead of toys, it would have PC games on it, and that's how we got Age of Empires. It's great. In top left, we have Dark.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Serral for Basilisk. Was there other games? I only remember Age of Empires.
I remember there were other PC ROMs or CD ROMs that they would have, like other competing cereal boxes would have like other stuff. But I can't remember if there was anything other than, I think there was something other than Age of Empires, but I can't remember. I only got Age of Empires.
I really want to throw a CD right now. Have that urge. That is really fun to throw, like a frisbee.
You're an animal. I've never thrown my CDs, Papi. Oh my god. Why would I throw them?
Just go to an op shop, get some CD that's like, I don't know, English for grade 1 on computer from like 1990 or something. And just frisbee it into a wall.
You're an animal, Papi. You're an animal.
It's worth it. Trust me.
Oh my god. Fun fact, I think I don't have my similar thing happen, I guess. Because the Age of Empires, I don't know if you know this, but the one that you got in the cereal box actually wasn't like the complete edition. Like it only had like a couple of it only had a couple of civs. It didn't have all the civs. Didn't have all the races. So I bought
my childhood.
So I bought the actual version, and I gave my Nutrigrain version to a cousin instead. So they got that one.
Ah, okay. Well, was it in Sydney? Maybe your cousin was the one that burned the CD for me.
It was in Sydney. There you go.
It's entirely possible.
It's possible. Yeah. We were connected from so long back.
I think last time we talked about this, we also talked about the game you got in the yogurt.
True.
The gorilla.
Yeah, I got a gorilla game. Yeah. Wait, we got PC games in yogurt. That's crazy.
It's true. Yeah, that was great. That I would play that again. That was my Neopets.
My god. Nowadays, what do people get in cereal? But nothing. Not even toys anymore, right? I don't know. It's...
just health warnings.
Kids they're missing out, Papi. They're missing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Screw
they
the
could
health
be playing video games. Yeah, exactly.
True.
Exactly. No, we can keep talking about cereal. This is like the most standard ZBZ you'll ever see. They're doing the exact same build, 3 base versus 3 base.
Yeah, exactly. Hatchcast pool open into a third base into banelings. It isn't until the third base is taken that now we're going to be seeing some lings being made. Serral, he's making 8 lings, so he's looking to at least have a standing army here, try to defend or move out across the map. I haven't had a yogurt in a long time.
CDs and stuff, that's just like, it's just not really a thing. I mean, like, you can stream everything now. Like, everything's on demand. You don't need anything like that. So what are you putting in cereal packets now?
You're asking what I would or what
Yeah.
is?
I don't know. What would you put in a cereal
What would
pack?
I put in a cereal pack?
Yeah.
Just put like 30 days of WoW, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep.
Right? Like, or what does League do? They have like the currency, right? Like 10 of that currency sort of thing, you know? Like the
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Like a skin or something.
Yeah, like put in like
A
a
special cereal skin.
yeah, Nutri-Grain skin, yeah. There you go.
If there was a Milo skin, I would definitely have the Milo
Oh.
skin.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember was there a Milo game? I want to say there was a Milo game.
I think there's a cricket game. I don't know if there's a Milo game.
True,
Maybe a
no,
cricket
yeah.
game that had Milo in it.
Yeah. That was the thing, 100%.
All right, but here we go. We are kicking things off. Serral is going to be diverting, going into a lair, getting his +1 attack, but Dark, on the other hand, pumping units once again, so it looks like he does want to be a little bit more aggressive. Fortunately, this time, though, it is happening a little bit slower, and Serral is being really diligent with his scouting.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As we do see a lair on the way here from Serral has been quite defensive overall, and Dark hasn't been too aggressive himself either. It looks like he wants the queen, though. He does dive in. Oh!
Yeah, jumping on top of the queens. We do have the Banelings getting into position, but fantastic micro from Dark is going to end up getting that queen and getting out of there.
Yeah, nice zoning as well with that Baneling. He's able to get another one of those drones. Can he get a second drone? He's going for it. Up.
Yeah, he's trying to go after those drones. Dark doing such a good job just creating some chaos here, but so far Serral is riding it out. He's going for the Overlord speed as well, so very curious to see what he has in store here. I know that people have been going for some Overlord drops a little bit more often in ZBZ.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Okay, I was like, oh, yo, we got a wall of spines on the way. What's going on? He did spot a roach move out. Serral, he was caught off guard for a moment, but alas, Dark, he was just posturing. He was faking out a move out. Does force a cancel of those Overlords. And as you did mention, we have seen Serral incorporate Dropperlords quite a lot here in this matchup. You know, just a couple of roaches into main base, a couple of roaches in towards the third to pull apart Dark in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, there are some really nice timings that are available here. It looks like the Observer just trying to point out there that Dark, once again, a little bit supply blocked, but I mean, when you're making roaches, not too much of a big deal.
True.
You can just make like 10, 20 overlords, you're fine. It doesn't really seem to be a problem.
It can be, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. We like the supply blocks. Meanwhile, there we go. We have the drop alert on the way. Spire gets thrown down in the main base after the scout leaves, by the way. So very cheeky move out of Dark. It's still going to take a ways for that Spire to really come into play, but so far hidden and unscouted by Serral.
Yeah, Dark's doing a really great job of being just incredibly unpredictable here. I wonder if he's going to be able to piece together as well, just from that overload speed, that something like this is coming. But yeah, Serral gearing up now for a bit of a set play. He should have roach speed kicking in. He's got a few of these extra overlords sneaking out as well. But you can see Dark, well, both players really just doing a really good job of spreading vision out across the map to try to catch any of these kind of moves.
Yeah, essentially Serral has one big timing here as he goes for a Overlord drop in towards the main base, but he has a +2 range and of course +1 carapace on the way as well. That's a Baneling drop, by the way, as he goes straight for that middle line. Ling run by at the third base as well. Up.
Yeah, the pre-split from Dark is amazing though. He knows exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, he's able to keep up. He does minimize his losses. Is going to be losing quite a bit of mining time, but the Banelings are still in this Overlord, and we're going into the main. Show us the main. Up.
Yeah, they are sneaking into the main here. Is going to get some decent connections. No, not quite. There's so many of those drones are on red hell. So in the end, Serral, all he really does so far is create some chaos. But both players going up to 4 bases pretty comfortably. And Serral's Hydrogen is finished up a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah, it is done a little bit early. We have Mutas on the way, but the Spire has been spotted. The Hydras are in production as Serral's going to be pushing on forward here. He doesn't quite have +2 yet, so he doesn't have that upgrade advantage that he otherwise would have in a couple of seconds. So he's going to have to back off, respect the army, and wait for those upgrades.
There we go. The Mutas have been spotted immediately. Spore Crawlers going down all over the place. We do have those Hydras coming out anyway, so should be seeing Serral going for a bit more of an investment in that. But looks like Dark just going to be making possibly 4 or 5 Mutas just to clear up some Overlord vision, maybe take out some drones here and there, just cause a big reaction. And behind this, just going to be going pretty heavily into roaches.
Yeah, exactly. So as you were mentioning, he only made enough mutas for map control, nothing much else. I think it was 7 mutas in total. It can help deal with those drop lords as well, and that, you know, could have become an issue. Meanwhile, Serral is doubling down here, going for burrow and tunneling claws.
Yeah, so I really likes playing Burrow in ZBZ. A lot of his set plays do kind of revolve around big timings when that kind of tech kicks in. I've seen that quite a lot of times against Reynor specifically, but um, I'm wondering why did Dark kill his Bane nest?
No, we don't. No, we don't like the Baileys anymore, but we don't like him.
Okay.
I'm concerned for Dark though because he has a pretty big upgrade deficit here, as he's down to +1 range against the 2-1 of Serral in a head-to-head fight. Serral will come out on top, so Dark has to try to avoid that. He's going to try and poke in though, but again, he doesn't want to commit.
Yeah, so we're doing a great job just holding the high ground as well as hanging in there with Dark, who's I feel like that's his special skill. He is so good at biles. I don't know what it is about his biles, but they just hit different.
They do hit a little bit different, and he's gonna have to rely on them here if he wants to take a fight. We do have a Hydrogen Infestation Bit on the way. When Dark throws these down, you know, I know, we all know he wants to go into Lunkers, Papi, and we'll see if he can survive long enough, because likewise, Serral, he's racing into his own Lunkers, into his own hive.
Yeah, that's right. And here we go. Serral is trying to make some chaos go down right here, right now. He is splitting off all these burrowed roaches into the different bases here. And I'm not sure if Dark has pieced this together just yet. He does have some spores on the way, but I don't think he's seen these coming now.
Yeah, he does have an Overseer in between the bases. There we go. He does come across the roaches in the end. He will pounce on said roaches. We'll clean them up. But the roaches, they do head towards the main base as well. And Dark, he has missed them.
Yeah, misses the ones at the 30. Does have some roaches already set up in the main. He's actually dealing with this incredibly calmly. It's very impressive, but Serral's army is pretty massive, and the extra DPS from those Hydras is going to help out a lot too.
Yeah, it really will. Dark, he has to give up ground here at that center base. You do see Serral breaking on through the Biles, though. They are going to be connecting on the army of Serral.
Yeah, Biles landing. Fantastic micro from Dark. He is taking this fight so well, and suddenly the army of Serral is just melting.
Well, he doesn't have anti-air. No anti-air. The mutants, they come in, they see an opportunity, they just chip away at the army itself. We do have Burrowed. Roach is going to be counterattacking across the map. They get a couple of workers, but we have Spine Crawlers in position, and Dark doesn't lose much at all.
Yeah, this is some brilliant play coming out from Dark right now. He is just dealing with the game plan of Serral so very well.
Yeah, he really is, and he is actually surviving long enough to get into Lurkers. It's something that Dark wanted to get into. I didn't know if he could actually survive long enough, but Lurker Den's about to finish up. We have the Hive on the way. Likewise, Serral getting there as well. Strap yourself in, Asher, because if we get a little bit longer into this, we can end up in Lurker v Lurker.
Oh, if only I could be so lucky. This is what I've been missing in my life. I mean, it is one thing to relax and just farm in Stardew Valley, but the whole time I'm just like, man, this game needs lurkers. Like, that's what's missing here.
Yeah, you know, I would join you in Stardew Valley, but there are no Lunkers, man, and I don't feel safe. Here we go. We do have some Burrowed Roaches going to be harassing across map. Dark is in position, but we have another Roach run by coming in. Dark racing back home here, trying to minimize his losses.
Yeah, nice split here from Dark, but Serral is really gunning for this. He takes out the Roach Warren, which is quite interesting. I feel like not going to be a huge deal in the long term, but it might open up some short-term possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. So we do see Dark bleeding out a lot of roaches on the front lines. We do have a Serral just sending everything into the main base as well. A big commitment out of Serral. Dark forced to remax here on Hydras instead.
Yeah, unusually aggressive here from Serral. He is trying to make use of this timing that he has with the Lurkers before the Lurkers of Dark kick in, and he takes out the base as well. Serral's getting some nice success with this attack.
Yeah, Serral just pulling Dark apart, sniping a base, getting into the main base, sniping some tech as well. But this isn't enough to kill. That's the reality. Is the Lurker Den goes down!
Wow, takes out that Lurker Den with the key tech kicking in, and I don't believe Dark actually has any Lurkers morphed, so he does have the Vipers coming in. That's going to help him out quite a lot, but I think if Serral can get into some nasty positions here, especially if he can siege up on one of the bases of Dark, Dark is going to be in massive trouble.
I mean, that may have just been game. Like, to snipe the Lurker Den, to be this far ahead in tech for your opponent not to have any Lurkers of their own defensively, this may just be it, as Serral is pushing on forward. He's waiting for more Lurkers to rock up, and do we have a real answer to this?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, the Biles of Dark have been really on point. He's going to have to go for this massive concave with the Hydras, with the Roaches here, but Serral is just slowly working his way in between the bases here, and this is just a position that Dark cannot allow.
Yeah, and Dark, he's just being bullied back further and further here into his own bases. The Vipers are going to be coming in, decent blinding clouds, but Serral, he can just reposition.
Yeah, really nice splits from Serral there. The Blinding Clouds are really good. He takes out most of the bases, but wow, Serral splits off these roaches. He's going to take out the 4th base, and this position still remains. I think Serral's done it here.
Yeah, it looks like Darky's falling apart. He's down to 3 bases mining. It was a very impressive defense. I'm shocked by how well Dark defended despite not having any lurkers of his own, but we can see that he's just falling behind. He's being pulled apart, and he barely has an economy. He's down to 41 drones.
Yeah, Dark is running on fumes now. He has just gotten his Lurker Den back up and running, but he doesn't really have enough money to get the upgrade. Serral finally getting his Vipers here. He is starting to, get himself into that perfect army as well.
Yeah, exactly. Papi, Serral, he was looking out for you, Asher. He heard you lamenting a little bit about, like, oh, the luck, oh, no. And he stopped that from happening. He stopped the Lurkers out of Dark, and here we go. Dark trying to force his way in, but the Lurkers are in position. The Blinding Clouds are coming in clutch, but there's still so many Lurkers behind this.
Yeah, great control on the fight from Dark, but he just did not have enough units. That last-ditch effort doesn't pay off, and Serral is going to be making it 1-1 against Dark.
GG, well played. Serral, he does fight back in a longer, more straight-up game. I mean, it was quite back and forth there, but that one move where Serral was able to dive his roaches all the way into the natural and into the main base. Remember, he didn't just snipe the roach warren, he went even further than that and even sniped the lurker den as well, and that was huge.
Yeah, that was absolutely the opportunity there, and Serral pounced on that opportunity as well. So despite Dark taking some really magnificent fights throughout that, Serral just always had the next step on the way.
Yeah, he really did, and with that, GG, well played. Serral will be putting another point on the board here for Team Basilisk, and DKZ, they are struggling right now. Basilisk, they need one more win on the table to really secure themselves to take the entire win in this best of 7. Meanwhile, the pressure is now on Hero to fight back.
Yeah, so Hero's going to have to take the 2-0 over Reynor, which is entirely possible, but it's a pretty tough task indeed.
It really is, especially because I think a lot of people have been a little bit critical of Hero recently, and I understand it. Hero, he had a hard time in GSL. He's had a hard time in a lot of these online events like KSL and the ESL Open Cups. Hero does feel like he has been experimenting and maybe not getting as good results in the new patch, in the current patch, and he's still looking and finding his footing. As a result, he has to turn it on here and now. But I'm a little bit concerned because, if I'm not mistaken, I think Hero is currently mid-series in the Wardy event. Oh.
Okay. Can Hero be in 2 places at once? I mean, Protoss, it's pretty good, but I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah, so we may be on an extended break. Worst case scenario is going to be a forfeit, but I'm sure the players are going to try and come up with a solution. I do know as well that if players know that there's going to be scheduling issues, sometimes they do play ahead of time and they submit replays, and the matches are casted via replays instead. So that is also possible that they have done that together. Hopefully we're able to have a series here to cast, because I mean, who doesn't want to watch Hero versus Reynor?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see PBZ. I know it has been changed up a little bit here and there, just because I mean, the baneling changes should be pretty significant for this matchup, right?
They should be, and we are getting updates in the chat as well. I assume that the WTL matches will be via replays, but it looks like it's going to be the other way around. So thankfully, we have a solution to this, and no scheduling issues. Ooh, thank God.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so Hero is going to be able to be here.
Yeah.
But can he make the 2-0? That's the question. And even if he does, I mean, it's a pretty tough ask even to get the ace match. What would the ace match be, do you reckon?
Oh my God, the ace match. I want Oliveira. Not gonna lie, I want Oliveira in the ace because I know he struggled. I know things weren't looking too hot for him against Trigger. But assuming that a Zerg player comes out as the ace, like, I'm telling you, man, Oliveira looked damn good against Zerg over the past couple of days, and I don't know if I would favor him against Serral and Reynor, but I just want to see it. I'm selfish like that.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
As here we go. We are going to be getting into it. Yeah, how's your ZVP ladder been? What have you been thinking? Tell me your thoughts. Have you won a game yet?
Oh God, no! What do you mean, Fabi?
Has anything changed on top of that?
I think I'm losing more. I think. No, yeah, ZVP has been interesting. I think one of the interesting things about ZVP is that Ling Hydra has been a lot more commonplace amongst the pro players, just because the buff to the Hydra overall, and of course the nerf to the Bailing. So Ling Hydra has been catching on. We can talk about that later on as we are getting into this. And in the bottom left-hand corner of 4DKZ, it is Hero with a cat.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map here, this is Reynor for Basilisk.
Here.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about in these cameras.
Yeah. This what do you want to talk about first?
Okay.
Okay.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
The striped zip
Yeah.
up turtleneck.
But yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm a little bit speechless. No, it feels weird because like I feel like Reynor, he's very casual. He's very casual, very laid back. Typically when we do spot him, as we have a 15-15. Oh no, sorry, actually just a 15 hatch opener. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, seeing him here, he looks very formal. I don't know if I want to say formal though. It's just it's the contrast. I'm not used to it.
All right, so I've got a theory for why it might not be so formal.
Okay. Oh,
It is
what's underneath?
zip up, and it's zipped to the top.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
Yeah.
the zip means it can be removed pretty quickly.
Yeah. 100%.
And we don't know what's under that.
Nothing's under. Oh god. I
I think
understand.
that might be the case.
Okay. It all makes sense now. It's on brand. It's on brand. Yeah.
I think what we've got going on here is when you have the StarCraft match at 10, and then you got to go work the hens night at 10:30.
Oh my god. I was thinking the same thing that Reynor, he's got somewhere to be. You know, he's got work to do, you know, after this Team League match, and he's on a tight schedule. Multiple things are tight here, and yeah, he's gonna have a good time.
Yeah, well, someone's gonna have a good time. And then, okay, so let's talk about the cat in Heroes. It's like a banner with a cat, but the cat has a Red Bull.
It's the Red Bull throws me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It does throw me off a little bit. Is it like a mascot for Red Bull? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. It's weird though, because Reynor's the one that's Red Bull sponsored. I mean, maybe this is not a good luck charm.
True. Maybe it's a ceremony for later on.
Okay. Yeah, no, true. We haven't seen many of those this season.
We haven't. It's a little bit unfortunate, but we are getting into our game, of course, and so far nothing too crazy outside of the openers themselves and the hatch timing, which was a little bit odd. The observer was pointing out that Reynor was a little bit supply blocked early on, and it felt a little bit awkward. For the most part, Reynor, he's just setting up here on 3 bases. Likewise, Hero is going to be going for a Stargate opener, and not going for an Oracle first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Reynor went for a 15 hatch and still got blocked, which I was a little confused by it. I guess I don't really know how the timings work out there, but yeah, Hero going to be opening things up with that Void Ray first. I am always saying I think this is really good for best of twos just because you can have one macro game and one all-in 2-base game and make them both look the same when you go for this Void Ray first. But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see. Heroes got some wacky builds, especially in this matchup.
100%. We've seen that time and time again, especially in the series against Dark. They play on a daily basis almost at this point in all these online events, and Hero can be very aggressive and very unpredictable. With that Void Ray first, he's going to be hunting down these Overlords and keeping Reynor in the dark as to what comes next.
Right, but good little attack with the Lings of Reynor. Just wants to keep an eye on any potential thirds of Hero.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see the Lings across the map trying to delay that third base. I do appreciate the Void Ray actually goes across the map first, so he gets one Overlord for certain, and he also knows that there's another Overlord back at home that he can just get later on once he cleans up a couple more Overlords here as more of a surprise factor.
Yeah, there we go. We have that slightly later third going into the Oracle now anyway, so it looks like going to be playing a pretty standard game, just starting off with the Void Ray. So I'm expecting to see the same sort of stuff we've been seeing for a while now. And there we go. The Twilight is coming down. Probably a Forge behind that as well. And we have been seeing quite a lot of players going for double Robo on 3 bases before they go for their 4th. I think that has been kind of the big departure lately in this matchup.
Yeah, exactly. We have been seeing a lot of double Robo Colossus production, but this is a little bit different because we have a Gateway Explosion and no Forge. No Forge here from Hero. This is looking like Glaver Depths, as 4 additional Gateways have been thrown down, and we still don't have any other form of tech other than that Twilight Council.
It could be a Blink all-in as well. I do know that he does like to go for 3-base Blink all-ins, and there we go. The Blink does get started up now. This Void Ray is going to do a really good job as well of just like clearing a good spot for that proxy to come down. But entries are being made. Okay, I'm lost. Not gonna lie.
Wait, so right now we have 5, I think that's 7 gateways in total right now. I do believe this is going to be a 3-base all-in out from Hero. The sentries do add quite a lot to this. Typically, this would be leading into an 8th gateway proxied across the map, and you just send that papi. But we don't have a gateway yet, as this is going to be an all-in without a warp prism, which means we can't warp in across the map without a gateway setup.
Okay, interesting. Meanwhile, for Reynor, no 4th base yet, so could be that he's, a bit suspicious about what's coming back his way. He's going for the roaches, going for the Overlord speed as well. Is he looking to go for a queen drop here? He could be in some real trouble if he is all-inning into the all-in.
Yeah, we got an all-in versus all-in. Let's go, Papi, as we have the Dropper Lords on the way for the queens. We are cutting workers at 57 here for Reynor, and he is making nothing but roaches, nothing but links. He's coming across the map. No shield battery set up at the 3rd base. Bear that in mind. Hero doesn't have the best defensive setup himself.
Okay, I am a little bit worried for Reynor here. I feel like this could be really dicey for him, especially if he starts moving out onto the map with those Dropper Lords, with the queens in them. This blink attack from Hero, he could be catching those out.
Yeah, so who's going to catch who here? As that is the proxy 8th gateway for Hero, so it's going to be a 3-base 8-gate all-in, but he's running into a player that hasn't been droning. He's running into a player that has been making nothing but links and roaches.
Yeah, and is he going to be able to put it together? Really nice while coming out from Reynor does prevent the stasis trap from coming out, but Hero, he's getting some good headway here. He takes out the links, but there is some more of those that are coming in from behind. He has to be so careful not to get these stalkers trapped.
Yeah. We just see Reynor just trying to catch some reinforcements, and there are barely any stalkers to speak of. That Void Ray going ham, though, onto the Roach Ravager. Very little anti-air.
Yeah, I think Reynor maybe has been a little bit over-eager trying to push this back. The trades from Hero have been fantastic, but this is so creative by Reynor. I love it. Just goes for the queen drop anyway, and is using them to harass the mineral lines, and Hero, he has no answer.
Yeah, when the Void Ray is going ham, I was like, what happened to the queens? Where they go, the Biles they take down. I think that was an Oracle or potentially the Void Ray as well, as workers are falling, and Hero, he races back home.
Yeah, Hero has to come back home to deal with these queens, but all of his momentum really relied on getting all of that value out of the blink from the stalkers, so he is in so much trouble now. There are no shield batteries back at home. Reynor is just barreling down on that 3rd.
Yeah, this is disastrous for Hero. Again, he was not prepared to defend back at home whatsoever. 0 shield batteries at the 3rd base and at the natural as well. He is getting on top of these Ravagers, so he's trading well, but he does take some biles to the face.
Yeah, Hero's attention is just a little bit torn here by those Dropper Lords with those queens, and behind this Reynor is just flooding in a few more units, got some more queens, got some more Ravagers on the way as well, and I just don't think Hero's got enough to hold on here. He has not regained control of his natural. There's no battery coming up at the 3rd either.
Yeah, exactly, and Hero, he is running out of steam, he's running out of economy, running out of units. He does clean up the Roach Ravager on the front lines, but the queens, they have done so much. They're even spreading creep in the natural as well.
Yeah, Reynor being really cheeky with the micro. Looks like he is feeling himself, as he often is when he's coming up to a dream hack. He is such a momentum player and such an emotional player as well. I feel like when he does have a tournament coming up, we see a completely different side of him.
Yeah, exactly. And for those wondering, because Hero was all in, again, there's no Forge, there's no +1, there's no Robo, there's no Immortals, no Colossus, there is no tech whatsoever, only a gateway army. At the same time, though, he is still committed. He's pushing out for a 2nd wave.
Yeah, this is getting really dangerous here. The Zealots, they break through the links. They're getting on top of the Roaches and Ravagers as well. Those Roaches and Ravagers are starting to fall, and there are more Zealots coming on in. I don't think Reynor has enough to hold this, and Hero feels the same. Aggressive blink.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's breaking on through. He gets on top of the Roach Ravager. He's busting into the natural base. Reynor, he needs time to pump out reinforcements, but alas, he just does not have enough. The boys, they have to be pulled into Zealots.
Yeah, the drone's being pulled. Zealot's coming in as well. The Oracle comes in just in time to help deal with those links. And with that extra warp in of Zealots, I think Hero might just have done it. He might have found this one window where he can counterattack and win the game.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Reynor was hoping that that Hero would be macroing back at home, that he would be licking his wounds. That's why Reynor, he actually made a wave of drones. And alas, in the end, he was caught out. The Zealots, they break into the main base, into the natural as well. And this may just be too much.
It's getting really tight. I mean, Reynor, he is holding this ramp. He's taking out the Zealots. The Zealots at the third, they are getting some really good damage done, but pretty sweet micro coming out from Reynor as well. Saves quite a few of those drones. 20 going down in total, but anything that he can do to hold on is going to be worth it in the end. It's just not enough.
Exactly. GG gets called, and Hero will take game number 1 after a very chaotic back and forth.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Reynor's attack was going so well there, but he just did not quite read the possibility for counterattack from a Hero, and Hero with that killer instinct.
Yeah, it's one of those things where after his Drop Lord Queens got cleaned up, Reynor was droning. He was kind of settling into, potentially a longer game and maybe celebrating a little bit too early. Meanwhile, Hero just doubled down. He just doubled down on the all-in. Of course, there was no way for him to get into a longer game from there, and he was able to catch Reynor a bit off guard. GG, but that was really chaotic.
Yeah, it was definitely a wild game, but both players all in. And Reynor's the one with somewhere to be, some place to be, of course. So maybe we're going to be seeing something even more aggressive from him in the next game.
It's very possible. It's very possible. And these kind of scenarios as well, I'm sure Hero is very comfortable. You were kind of alluding, or we were alluding to it before when we brought up Dark. But very often when we ever get to cast Hero and Dark, this is the kind of game that we get. We get very chaotic scenarios or very kind of just wild situations just because Dark is also very aggressive and we end up in like a weird base trade or just all in versus all in. And yeah, Hero are able to keep a cool, calm, and collected head.
Yeah, it's important to point out as well, Hero getting that win on the board. If he gets the next win as well, he does get DKZ to the ace match, so he'll be carrying pretty hard there. That would be really good for them.
That would be amazing here. DKZ, their hopes and dreams, they lie on a Hero's shoulders right now. Hero, he needs this win to force the ace match to give his team a chance at winning this Team League match. Meanwhile, Reynor, he only needs one. Uno mas, papi. One is all he needs, and his map of choice is Equilibrium.
This is a symmetrical map, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With gold bases.
Gold bases.
Do
you reckon he goes for a gold base first?
I'm gonna say either like the third base as the gold. I don't know if he'll take it as a natural. That's crazy.
I feel like Hero could take it as a natural. He might actually be more likely to take it as a natural.
It could happen. It could happen. It's in the top right-hand corner for DKZ. It is Hero.
And in the top left, this is Reynor for Basilisk.
Here we go. And oh boy, yeah, the pressure is on now. Fun fact, we actually have seen this map picked quite often by Reynor here in WTL. It does seem to be his go-to, and I do think a big reasoning for this is because of how, not just how large the map is and how many bases you can take, but because it does feel like this is one of the maps where you can establish your third base, or you just can establish that gold without too much issue, without too much really slowing you down.
Yeah, okay. It looks like he's not going to get blocked out this time. In fact, I'm not sure if Hero scattered at all. Is that... I can't tell if it's his probe or that's an overlord on the left. It looks like it's an overlord. Okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that he'd be doing some kind of cheeky proxy or something like that, but no, it looks like he is just going to be skipping the scout this game.
Yeah, interesting choice here from Hero, especially considering that it is not unheard of for a Zerg player to take that gold base even faster than the third and even try to take it as the natural. So Hero is going to be playing in the dark for the time being. He's more concerned with what his own build is up to. And yeah, we're just kind of settling into game 2.
Okay, it's going to be core first from Hero, so it looks like he wants to get aggressive with that first adept.
Yeah, it's going to be a gate core before expansion here, so a little bit less economic, a little bit more aggressive from Hero. Now the probe is going to be moving out to get an idea of what is going on, and this is where Hero can really settle in, because something that we didn't really get to see last game is Hero's aggression in the early game. With adepts, with oracles, Hero has some of the best.
Yeah, he's he's definitely played a few games where even against the best players in the world, he can snowball those first few units. So yeah, looks like he wants to be the one in the driver's seat this time around. Doesn't want to let Reynor, get aggressive with those Ling Roaches again. I think he is going to be looking to play a bit more of a macro game as well off this early aggression.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know if you saw the movement there, but Hero did immediately check the gold. So the probe did immediately go for the gold base, and it did confirm that the base was not taken here, as he is going to be rechecking and actually staying here. And it looks like Reynor does want to take this as his third, but the probe is in position to deny it.
Yeah, I love it. Just going to be slowing this down for Reynor, making sure that he knows exactly what's going on as well. And I think that might be the reason for the core first on this map, just that he wants to have that potential for some extra harass against this base. So I think that does make a lot of sense. I mean, Reynor is just going to make the quick decision to take the other third.
Yeah, exactly. Very mature decision here out of Reynor. He's not going to waste his time trying to establish a base, especially with this Adept here. Speaking of, the Adept does slip into the into the natural base, but does not quite get a drone.
Yeah, really nice micro there from Reynor. Just keeping that drone just out of reach there.
Yeah, exactly. Very clutch moves. Meanwhile, we're not done because the Oracles are now going to be moving out. This time it is not going to be a Void Ray first, as we saw in the previous game. We even had a pylon block here at the gold as well. That could come into play later on. Not too sure if that was intentional for the pylon to finish, but I guess we could technically warp in.
Yeah, that was really cheeky, just letting that pylon finish there. Reynor does just have vision of it. I like that he's using the edge of the Overlord as well, so that Hero doesn't know that he can see it. But yeah, I mean, we could potentially see something getting warped in there. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, we definitely could. As Hero setting up for his own third base. Looks like the pylon is going to get cleaned up, though.
Yeah, really solid defense from Reynor so far. He has been able to knock back just about everything the Hero's been doing. And Hero actually very supply blocked right now.
Oh, yeah, a bit of a trend here with Hero and Dark, and you can see Hero actually shake his head for a moment. It was not intentional by any means. Lings are going to be moving out, and the Oracle has to stay at home here to protect this third base to make sure that there is no cancel.
Yeah, looks like Hero just didn't quite calculate for that pylon being out on the map there. He's going to have to bring back the Oracles as well just to deal with these Lings. So Reynor doing a really good job just kind of abusing this weakness that Hero is going to have here. And he's going for an extra wave of Lings here. I wonder if he can get the cancel on the third.
He wants it, Bob. He wants the cancel on the third base. He's going to be moving out. Meanwhile, Hero back at home, he's starting up a Phoenix, and he throws down a second Stargate for a double Phoenix production. I'm assuming double Phoenix.
Why? What's going on here? Why is this?
This has been a little bit trendy from Hero to go for a mass. I say mass Phoenix. I want to say between 6 to 8 Phoenixes to move out across the map to shut down Overlords, to shut down Queens, and to support the army. It's something that he's been quite fond of.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, Reynor scouts it really early. That could be trouble. I mean, we see that Roach Warren has gone down. +1 is on the way as well. Big stasis trap actually coming down there.
Oh my god, it catches 3 Queens and half the mineral line as well. A little bit miscalculated there by Reynor, as Hero does lose an Oracle, but again, kind of worth it here for a massive stasis trap like that.
Yeah, so I mean, Reynor's seeing this as well. I wonder if he can go for a bit of an all-in. I feel like with so many Phoenix, that Roach all-in that he went for last time could actually be pretty good.
Oh yeah, 100%, as one drone will be caught in that stasis trap as well. Phoenixes do reveal themselves early on. Interesting, I love this. So Hero, very Dark-esque. Because he got scouted, he only makes 2 Phoenixes, and he stops producing anything from those Stargates.
Yeah, he's actually going to be getting aggressive here with the Adepts, and I really like this. It forces out some units from Reynor at a time where he really would like to be greedy just for the next couple minutes, just to make his next timing really strong. And I think Hero is actually going to be kind of saving himself from that next timing by doing this.
Exactly. Again, just keeping Reynor on his toes, just going for all these tech switches, going for one thing and then switching into another instead. And so far, Reynor is able to keep up. He thankfully does have plenty of Lings, even forcing a recall on these Adepts as Hero transitions into charge. Oh.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Looks like he's going to be skipping out entirely on Stalkers there, just going for... kind of looks like he's going to be charged a lot of Mortal Archon.
He is, but here comes the all-in, because that is Overlord speed on the way, +1 range. We are continuing Queen production. We have Roach speed as well. This is all lining up. I imagine for a big push. Maybe I'm reading too much into Overlord speed, but I mean, with Reynor, it's hard to imagine not to see some drop loads on the horizon.
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. We see a lot of roaches getting produced as well. Hero's going up into a Robo Bay, but I don't think that's going to be finished in time for him to have disruptors for this push. Oh, and the door is wide open. The Lings go flooding in. Big reaction from Hero in the camera there, and he is taking massive damage right now.
Yeah. The wall was not a wall. The Lings, they bust into the main base. They bust into the natural as well, and so many probes are going down. We will clean this up, if not before an entire mineral line goes down.
Everything is brought back home, and that includes the Oracles and the Phoenix as well, so that just means it's going to be even harder for Hero to scout this and know what's going on here.
And here we go. The push is moving through the center of the map. The creep highway is upon us. The queens are coming forward. Here come those overlords. Soon to be drop lords from Reynor. He's going to be cutting workers here at 71. He has the gold base. He has basically full saturation at this point. And now we're going for one big push.
Yeah, and I don't think Hero has put this together. He is taking his fourth here. Disruptor's on the way. He does see these queens coming across now, so he should know what's happening. But there's only going to be one disruptor for this. I just don't think he has anywhere near enough.
Yeah, exactly. And one disruptor, as you mentioned, is not going to be enough here to deal with this army. Archons are coming forward. Shield batteries are being thrown down, and this is not a good start.
Yeah, missed path from the Archons, as if he needed anything else to go wrong here.
Yeah, even a mass army of Joblords coming across the map as well. Going to be helping to spread all of that creep to help support all these queens. We do get a cancel on the fourth base. Hero, he is buying some time to make another disruptor. He will have two, but two disruptors, they got a lot to do.
Yeah, they really do. There are so many units here. I think it's going to be hard to even kill these queens.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with all these transfusers. Nova goes off, takes down a couple of roaches. Transfusers keep everything else alive. Now the Nova will be connecting here on some Ravagers, but we have an overwhelming army. Reynor, he is maxed.
Yeah, great Nova there, but these Lings get split off into the main. Does leave these Ravagers a little bit exposed, and Hero's going to try to take that opportunity and jump on top of them. The Zealots, they're doing a good job. The Adepts are doing a good job as well as this Nova, but there is just not really enough meat to this army after those Novas are gone.
Yeah, exactly. As the Zealots and the Adepts are going to be falling here. We do have a third disruptor on the way, but GG gets called, and Reynor will take the game, not just for himself, but for his team, as Team BASILISK take down DKZ.
Gee, a bit of an unfortunate game there. A few things going wrong for Hero, but in the end, we really got to shout out the true hero of this, and that's Trigger. Trigger doing an amazing job getting the 2-0.
Yeah, imagine if Trigger didn't 2-0 Oliveira. We could be seeing an ace match right now. So, very solid performance out of Trigger. He's a player that has been underperforming in WTL and really struggling to stand out, really struggling to make a name for himself here in World Team League. So, a strong start for Trigger, and the rest of his team obviously pulling their own weight as well. GG, congratulations to Team BASILISK for taking the series.
Amazing job. Really cool to see Trigger doing so well.